Hey, your buddy Peace and Army here with you here today. How does the narcissist really get into the stations that they're at in life? How do they really climb the ladder? How do they really fool people? How do they really get one over on people? It always shocks me the high-functioning the high-functioning nature of the narcissist or psychopath. And how they really climb to certain ranks in their job, their family, or society. How do they come to dominate? Well, for one, the narcissist and the psychopath, their personality disorder, they are on a continuum on the DSM-3R, which is the diagnostic manual used by psychologists and psychiatrists to diagnose and treat people with various mental diseases and disorders. Now, there are things like depression, there are things like bipolar, there are things like schizophrenia, borderline personality disorders, anxieties. There are all sorts of issues, behavioral issues that we see within people outside of just regular medical issues like diabetes, cancer, heart attack, stroke, etc. Now, when it comes to looking at how the narcissist or how the psychopath really pulls one over on us, a lot of it can be determined because they lack certain emotional centers within their brain, within their physiology, that creates a certain lack of morale and principle and values. So imagine if you didn't have certain conscience, right or wrong, within you. It would be the world is your oyster, basically. If it was not wrong for you to steal from the boss, and you could steal, well, you would do it really with no problem. It would just be like picking up a piece of garbage off the ground. You would have the same feeling as if you were just siphoning money. The same thing with conning people. You've heard of the con man. You've heard of how they manipulate people. They're able to con people. They're able to formulate elaborate stories. They're able to outsmart people. They're able to break people down. And oftentimes they do this with, pulling on, they have some sort of issue going on that enables them to receive sympathy from others. So there's usually a sympathetic cause that allows them to break people down, but they know this. Now that they truly, what was it, John Wayne Gacy or somebody who, he targeted a lot of his victims at gas stations or something, and he would always say, he would tell his victims that he had a broken arm, and could you help me with some gas, and he would basically lure people in that way. So it's like they lure people in. So they're able to pull one over, and oftentimes it has something to do with some sort of sympathetic reaction that you get from them. But the sympathy is false. There's really people hurting, and then there's people who will con people, manipulate others, exploit them, and take advantage of people with true care and concern. And they're able to take advantage because they're able to prey on their emotions. It's just like the Bernie Madoffs of the world. They targeted specific people. They were helping them to grow their money. They were able, what is he in Wall Street? And he was able to con people out of their money. He was able to make false promises to people. But yet, the typical person would not feel very comfortable having, all these lies. It would just... It would not serve you to just ultimately continue to lie to people. There's a moral, what most people have is a moral conscience. In other words, honesty is the best policy, cheaters never win. I think this is, how a lot of people will live their life. And, but the psychopath is really to the other degree, where lying and cheating and stealing is just a way of life for them. It's just they have no conscience, so they nothing is stopping them. You know, in other words, they don't feel any pain, they don't feel any regret, they don't feel any remorse, they see nothing wrong with how they're behaving. It's just business as usual for them. It's just as natural as drinking water. I mean, for them to pull one over or steal or lie or cheat on their spouse or, you know, flip, you know, in my case, you know, they're able to play a whole charade, you know, able to flip pictures around, turn, you know, situations around, you know, take pictures of you down and the other person, you know, put other pictures of the other person up when they're there. I mean, they have this whole elaborate scheme and ways of just, it's almost like a theater that they're able to, or a split personality where they're able to be one, you know, way to another person and one way to another. They're often a good clue, and I hope you remember this, is that how a psychopath or a narcissist is around their family or they are to their coworkers can be oftentimes quite different versus how they are to their friends. You know, it's not like, oh, they just loosen up and they're like a little bit more at ease. They can literally switch almost like personality traits, knowledge bases. It's very, very strange how they're able to kind of you know, act like, you've heard it, there's even psychopaths who have pretended, you know, who have lied on their resumes and said that they were a doctor and they were never, you know, and they pursued such and such medical school. They have no medical degree, no medical study, yet they were able to, you know, create a facade and able to, you know, get jobs in hospitals and see people, you know, based on this whole scheme of lies. And they're able to just, you know, pull one over on people. So, again, it's a certain characteristic, a certain personality flaw, if you will. I'm not trying to flaw them, but I'm just trying to have you understand that that is how there are certain deficits within their personality which gives them the ability to pull one over. So I hope this helps, and I hope you to really see and identify not only what's happened to you, but help you resolve some issues that you did nothing wrong. And, you know, you did not deserve to be hurt. You did not deserve to be taken advantage of. And I firmly believe that, you know, this is a good lesson. And, you know, we have to make the best of it. And it'll hopefully prevent you from being sucked in again. So, peace and harmony here with you here today. Please subscribe and share for more great videos, tools, and discussions. Take care.